Picture it, Los Angeles, 2024.
I'm perching my lips for you. Welcome to Out on the Lanai, the only Golden Girls podcast you're ever gonna need to listen to. I am HAlanScott / Sadie Pines.
I'm Kerri Doherty, and today we're doing another Golden Rewind, where we go back and rewatch our favorite episodes of the Golden Girls and offer new insights since we first started breaking down these episodes way back in 2014. And I hear somebody's got a birthday coming up. Who is it?
It's right now, but we're
who is
recording this a long time in advance because we have a life to lead. So it's my birthday, but not yet. But yes, it is. Happy birthday to me.
Your birthday. Happy birthday, HAlanScott / Sadie Pines.
It's my birthday. Oh my God, my birthday. So I got to choose the episode because it was my birthday.
And do you want to tell me how you said, hey, for my birthday episode, I'd like to pick the episode. And do you remember how you described this episode to me?
No, I don't actually.
You said, I'd like to watch the episode where Rose gets horny at weddings.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. So like let me break down why I wanted to watch this episode. So
Please.
this is not like a normal one that I would turn to, but these past couple of weeks, because like I said, we are recording this a few weeks in advance from when this goes out. And as you may have been aware of, these past couple of weeks have been very difficult for me in terms of, things happening. And so I have been, as we do, turning to the Golden Girls to have moments of distraction, reflection, enjoyment, happiness, all of the things. And I was randomly watching TV Land Golden Girls because for some reason I still, even though I know it's on Disney Plus and Hulu and all the things, and I have it on DVD, I still just love seeing it on TV. And whenever it is just on TV, I will turn to the channel and just put it on. Sundays, they have TV Land, I think it is, has like a marathon or something of the Golden Girls, and I always just put it on while I'm like reading the paper after I watch my political shows. So yeah, so I will always watch the Golden Girls on television. And I was watching on TV Land shortly after Frasier, we had to put Frasier down, and that episode came on, and I just was like, this is such a fun, stupid episode. I relate to Rose so much, just the horniness of it all, and I just thought it was just so stupid and funny and silly and absurd and unnecessary, with no message, no moral story, no redeeming moment happens on this episode. And I was just like, this is exactly what I need. I need a Golden Girls fever dream of Rose being horny as fuck. And that's what I wanted to do for my birthday.
Well, I have a quick follow-up question.
Yeah.
Which is, when you say you were like Rose in this episode, were you horny when you were watching it, or do you get horny at weddings?
No, I just respond. No, I don't. I hate weddings. But I mean,
people hate fuck, so maybe you could be like hate horny at a wedding.
And I have done that too. But no, I respond to Rose in it in that, like, I find that I can be that way with like some friends, and especially when I'm as Sadie, and like I can be kind of like a little randy, a little naughty, a little flirty, a little whatever. And so and I relate to a lot to Blanche in this episode too, her not understanding Rose's problem and all of the and Blanche looking in the mirror in this episode. That's very much me. And like, like there were so many moments in this episode that I respond to, both as who I am as a person and who I will be when I'm older, probably the horny, dude, just being like, hey, and who I am right now as Sadie with Blanche in this episode. So like, there were so many elements in this episode that were just so me. And I thought it would be fun just to watch it, because this is not one that we normally do a rewind for or like watch. It's not like a one that's on regular rotation, because there's no big thing that happens. You know what I mean? There's no big, it's like in the list of all of the Golden Girls episodes, I don't even think necessarily this one cracks top 100, but yet it's so fun.
It's so fun for those who, I mean, everybody knows which episode we're talking about, which is season 5, episode 23. The episode title,
is
it's
so
like,
long.
How did this fit into a TV guide? The Mangiacavallo curse makes a lousy wedding present.
Like, can you imagine? Now, back then, you're right, it was only TV guide. But like now, like what I do for a living is I talk about like what I'm watching and what's going on and like what's happening in the movies. And me can you imagine me telling like podcast listeners over at Newsweek, like, then tonight I'm going to be watching the Mangiacavallo curse. Like, I mean, it just would take up so much space.
I also looked up, because I know mangia means eat, because
Mangia Italiano.
So Mangiacavallo means, I figured out, I think it might be on IMDb what it means. It means to eat something. It's like to eat a horse, to eat a soul. I will find it. But while I'm doing that, which I can't actually do these things at the same time, but I'm going to try. Today, bad segue, in the GGVIP club, for all of you GGVIP members, we're doing a Rusty Anchor happy hour bonus episode for HAlanScott / Sadie Pine's birthday.
Oh, you didn't know this, but I have a theme that we're going to talk about.
Oh, okay, great. I also have a thing.
Oh, okay, good. Because we had talked about just being unhinged today, and which I fully support because that is very much what I would do on my birthday. But I have something that I want to ask you on the Rusty Anchor happy hour, which is a question that I feel not so much a question, but a thing that people say to all Golden Girls fans. Every single one of us who listens to this podcast gets either this statement and or this question. It can be framed two ways. And I don't think we've ever really talked about it, and I wanted to have a conversation about it. Yes, every single Golden Girls fan. If people know you're a Golden Girls fan, people say this thing to you or ask you this thing. And
it's not which Golden Girl are you, because we talk about that a lot.
No, it's not
did you know that the woman that played the oldest one was actually younger than Joe
It's
B.
none
Arthur?
of those things.
Yeah, wow.
But it is the thing that everyone asks.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about that. And I'm intentionally not saying what it is, because that's going to happen over on the Rusty Anchor happy hour.
And I brought Mad Libs. We're going to do more Golden Girls Mad Libs, because I know you love doing the GG Mad Libs. And everybody seems to love them. So that's what's going on in the Rusty Anchor happy hour.
That's a fun birthday party over at the Rusty Anchor happy hour.
Yeah, it's going to be a little unhinged tonight. You can check it out at patreon.com/Golden Girls Podcast.
I couldn't finish doing my nails before we got on, so I'm half done.
I love
who are
that.
watching on YouTube are only seeing 3 nails painted. But over the course of this episode, you might see all.
It looks good. Honestly, it kind of looks like a choice. Oh, I was right. Okay, the name Mangiacavallo means horse eater in Italian.
Oh, okay.
So Giuseppe Horse Eater.
Okay. Okay. I'm into it. Yeah, I love this episode, but I particularly love a horny Rose, because there are so many moments on this episode where Rose... like when she says she wants to take off all her clothes and do the hokey pokey, like that is something that and that is something that I would probably say. Honestly, I would probably say it.
I mean, what's so funny is because that's so Rose, right? Like it's that childlike naivete that she has mixed with, you know, a woman of her age feeling some feelings in her nether regions, but she can't quite shake who Rosen Island is. So the fact that she wants to get naked and do the hokey pokey, I mean, you're sticking things in, you're taking things out. Yeah. You know what I mean? But you shake things all about, but also it's the hokey pokey. It's so perfect.
Well, see, I do respond to Rose's sexuality in a way, because I feel like out of all the girls, like we know that Blanche knows how to fuck. You know what I mean? Like Blanche can be seductive. She can be sexy. She can do all those things. I, as H. Allen, have never been that person. I'm not that person. I've never been the person that is like smoldering, sexy, dirty talk person. So that's not me. I'm very much like, I love a good laugh. You know what I mean? I love a good LOL. I love a good joke. I love a good whatever. And so I feel
love keeping the lights off. Yeah, maybe a candle. Just light a candle.
No, not even a candle. All the lights on. In fact, like, let's just have those reachers. You know those things that people use who are too short to like reach things on high shelves.
Yeah,
the claw things. Let's just have sex with that and like not even touch each other. Let's just put things on those claw things and just touch each other from 8 feet away.
Are you in one of those? Are you in a sensory deprivation chamber as well?
Ooh,
like there's
that would be fun. Ooh, that would be fun. No, but I like to have a little LOL in the sexy department, and so I respond to Rose, even though she's not intentionally being LOL, it is LOL, and so I feel like that. I also feel like Dorothy would crack a joke in the bedroom. I feel like Dorothy would but she would be more sardonic about it. But I feel like there would be jokes. There would be things that I secretly think. Now, this might be controversial for people out there, but I secretly think Sophia is a slut. I think she is dirty. I think she goes to town. And people are going to be like, no, she's so reserved, all the things. We know the things that she got down, like she got into back in the day. Like we've heard stories about how Dorothy was conceived. I have a feeling, given the opportunity, Sophia be a hoe.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Dirty. Like Blanche level. Like I could see it.
Wow.
I could see it. I'm just saying
Okay.
that.
All right.
Let us
Yeah.
know. Let us know in the comments of this episode or wherever, DM us or Patreon or all the places you can reach out to us. Let us know if you think Sophia would be a big old slut.
I can picture all of the women being horny except for Sophia. And
Horny
maybe
and
this is
slut
a
are
little
different.
ageism. Yes, no, I know.
Yeah.
And again, maybe this is ageism on my behalf, maybe. But I think about like even when Sophia's just like sitting in the living room watching a dirty movie, unless I
Mhm.
don't know, like what does horny look like for Sophia?
See, now that's just it too. That's more proof there because the fact that, and that's I relate to Sophia in this way. The fact that Sophia is so casual about being like, yeah, I'm gonna go watch porn in the living room. Like even that sentence is funny. But like
Yeah.
the fact that she's so chill about it is A, to me kind of awesome, but also B, proof that she can be dirty.
Yeah.
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 Like dirty. Like
She can
dirty.
be dirty. She can
Yeah.
be
What was that
dirty.
porn she was watching? The Seven Brides for Seven Brothers? She got it confused or something? Like there was
Yeah, I think so. Or she
that
got
is
it
such
because she got Seven Brides for Seven Brothers because she thought it was a porn.
that is so funny. That is so funny. That happened to me once when I was a kid. Can I just share that story real quick?
Yeah.
This is gross. I'm just gonna say it.
Hey, it's your birthday. You're allowed to do whatever you want today. Happy
Let me
birthday,
just
Dorothy.
preface this by saying I did not have any relationship with my father when he was alive, really, in the later years, well, from teenage years until now, and it was only a small period of my life that I even lived with him, so like very limited relationship with my father, and he was a horrible man. So I preface that before I say the story. So I was at home and I found this video and it said Annie, and I love Annie. I love Annie. I love Annie the musical. And this was back in the VHS days where my family, like my dad, we would often rent movies at like Blockbuster or wherever. And then we would illegally, and I'm just saying this, we would illegally tape them. I had all of the ones.
Where
I
you
had
had the
all my
deck to
favorites.
deck.
Oh yeah, all of it. Like I taped so many because I loved movies. And so we'd have so many VHS tapes that just had like, Sharpie writing on it that said
Same.
whatever,
Yeah, we would tape movies off of cable. Yeah.
yeah, we couldn't even afford cable, so we just like taped the Blockbuster movies and the 2-for-1 nights or whatever. And I saw Annie in his room and I put it on. That was an adult version of Annie. That was
Wait.
Annie and Daddy. Yes, with a grown woman and
Okay.
Daddy Warbucks. Yeah, grown woman. I want to that
Okay.
was fully
Yes.
grown woman. Yes. But also disgusting theme, like disgusting theme for porn, which just proves my dad was a ugh. But yeah, and I was as it started, I was like, this is not Annie. This is not Albert Finney is not in this. This is not happening. And I watched a little bit because I was a child and I was like, curious. And I'm glad we trim today. There was a lot of hair happening in that porn. There was a lot of hair happening. And I mean, I'm not one to judge.
No shame.
No shame if that is your thing. I did just today shave off all my hair because I have to get into Sadie later on. But not tonight, but later. But I'm glad that we shave more these days.
I feel like that's the perfect moment to go to a quick commercial and come back and break down this episode.
And on that, shave your coochie toochie.
Shave your Stanley Tucci. And we are back talking about the horse eater wedding. What was interesting about this wedding is that it wasn't a wedding of one of our regular cast members where they like almost get married, or Sophia does get married, gonna marry Harry, I'm maybe gonna marry Stan. This isn't even someone that we've met before, like Clayton. Clayton, we don't even see his wedding. We just know that he's gonna get married. This is a woman named Jenny, who we're just learning about, who is marrying the grandson of Giuseppe Mangiacavallo.
Which is such a name.
What a name. What a name.
Oh my God, what a name.
And Sophia is really pissed about this. Jenny is Dorothy's goddaughter. I will talk about that relationship later because I have so many questions. But Sophia hates Giuseppe. She holds a grudge because when she was 14, her dad arranged for her to marry him. He was the neighbor's son at 14.
Yeah, I mean, but not surprising for Sophia's story, you know?
I know. And he, on like the day of the wedding, he like hightailed it to America. And instead of being upset with her dad for trying to marry her off at 14, Sophia puts a curse on this boy. And like, I mean, so
as you do, what you should do.
As you do. And some of the aspects of the curse are like, you know, may your hair never lie flat, may your socks always slip down inside your shoes, like things that would be like kind of annoying. But
that
then
is annoying. Do you wear ankle
wishes
socks?
him infertile.
That's okay. I'm fine with that too.
Well, she wishes him infertile and then all of his offspring infertile, which is like
that's taking
kind
it
of
too far.
Funny.
But
but also,
an ankle sock
I guess
person?
he adopts.
Are you a what kind of sock person are you?
I have both. I have ankle socks and I have ones that go up to like my shin.
That feels like you're living on the edge a little bit.
Why?
I don't know.
I feel
options. Yeah, but I'm very, for me at least, and maybe I'm alone in this, I'm very particular about my socks. Like I need, like, especially if I guess it depends on the shoe, but the only time I wear ankle socks is if I'm wearing like an athletic shoe. But even then I want like the full, it's like not mid calf, but what kind of like tube socks, I guess.
Like, well, are we talking about they're going up to your knee?
No, they're just going up a little bit past my ankle.
Okay.
You know,
yeah, I mean, I wear
those.
I usually wear ankle socks for the most part, I'd say, like when I'm going somewhere and I'm wearing like my sneakers. But I also have long socks that I might wear if I'm wearing boots or something, because I definitely don't want the heel to like slip down and go under my foot.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Wow. Good to know. Okay. If I ever buy you socks.
This is normal stuff that 28-year-olds talk about.
Yeah, totally.
So she puts a curse on this guy. And what's interesting about this story is that Sophia, all these years later, is still mad at him. Like, oh my God, can a Sicilian hold a grudge?
Yeah, but also like
they were 14.
I can relate to Sophia here so much because there are people who I have hated my entire life and I'd still hate them. Like I still, like I don't live in hate. I don't wish ill will on people, but I will hate you forever. Like, and I will talk about my hatred of you forever.
But if the thing is if she had married that guy, she never would have met Sal. She wouldn't have had Dorothy. She wouldn't have had Phil. She wouldn't have had Gloria.
She would have been filthy rich.
Yeah, she would have been rich, I guess.
She would not have to use that hose out back for a get rich quick scheme. She would own the hose. She would own the house she lives in. She doesn't own anything. Sophia owns nothing.
No, and Giuseppe owns like 4 houses and a summer house.
That's what I'm saying. So
she should have been rich, but
if you found, I mean, well, no, I want to ask that question. That's stupid. Of course you're gonna answer. I know how we're good people. We answer the way we would. But Sophia, of course, is happy that she married who she married and had Dorothy and all her kids. Like, of course she is. But she also is probably like, I could have been loaded.
Yeah, but she's just, I mean, there's the level, like the thing with her and Aunt Angela. Yeah. I understand maybe why she's still bitter about that, but like it has been what, like 70 years and she is holding on to it.
There's this one kid in high school that I still hate, and I had no reason to hate them, but I just hate them. And they were proven to be a liar years later, and it validated my hatred of them.
You were like, I have good instincts.
And I've known since the beginning, but no one wanted to believe me because they were like angel or whatever. They were like perfect. Whatever. I still hate them.
Well, this wedding is stressing Sophia out, but it's also stressing Dorothy out because she doesn't have a date, and it's really important to Sophia that she has a date so that she
This
looks good for the
surprises
family.
me. I mean, I get that, but I get Sophia wanting her to have a date, but I'm surprised that Dorothy's as stressed about having a date. You know?
I think she's more stressed. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I guess it's because she maybe assumes that everybody else is going to have a date. So when she's there, although Sophia doesn't have a date, because maybe she's like, well, who am I going to dance with? Who am I going to hang out with?
And also, Sophia probably has responsibilities to the family at the wedding. But then again, Dorothy is the godmother. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
The only thing I know about Italian weddings is from The Godfather, and that never ends well.
No, those never end well. So, but Blanche says that Dorothy can borrow one of her many, 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 many men.
Okay, this is where I relate to Blanche because I am a connector of people, and I do that with people. I not so much in dating necessarily, but although I have done that. But like in general, I love connecting because I feel like I know a lot of people, and so when someone needs something, I can connect them to this other person, and then I bring my people together, and so everyone's together and everyone's happy. And I love doing that. I love it. I love being the friend, being like, "Oh yeah, I know a guy. I know a guy."
Yeah.
And then I do it, and then it works out. And sometimes they fuck.
That is fun when you can, like, if you did that and then people like end up forever. You're like, I did that. I did that.
Happened. That happened two of my friends, one from St. Louis, one from New York. They came with me, two straight people, to a gay bar. They met at a gay bar. Now they have children and they're happy and living in the Northern California. Just saying.
You did that.
I did that.
You facilitated that love. You made those babies.
I made the babies. I think
you made the babies.
No, I'm not a godparent to them, but I was at the wedding.
Well, that's nice, at least. So Rose is also a little stressed because Miles can't take her to the wedding because he's out of town for a teaching seminar, which like I call bullshit. I feel like he's
doing something secret.
He's maybe the FBI is requiring him to check in.
Oh yeah, maybe he has to go to Langley.
He's in Virginia. Like he's at Quantico.
What's Langley? What's Langley?
I know I thought Quantico was FBI headquarters, but I also know Langley. What is Langley?
Isn't Langley's also an FBI thing, I think, right? Hold on.
They can have more than one headquarters, right?
Well, headquarters usually is just one. Like, right? It's head. Langley is unincorporated community, George. Oh yeah, it's part of the CIA. Langley's CIA.
Okay. All right. Yep. Different agency.
Smart people listening at home are like, woo.
Yeah, someone said it. So Rose is stressed because she can't go alone because, again, probably one of my most favorite fun facts about Rose, she gets horny at weddings. And the reason is so sweet.
It is.
It's so sweet. It's so simple. She had a great wedding with Charlie. They had great sex that night.
Yeah.
And now when she goes to weddings, maybe we should let's let Rose say it in her own words in this little clip here that we have.
After that, whenever we'd go to a wedding, we'd end up going home and putting on the cast album of Song of Norway and going crazy on each other.
What are you saying, Rose? Weddings get you hot?
Yes. I mean, it was fine while Charlie was alive, but oh, I'll never forget that first wedding after he died. So now you see why I can't go if Miles is going to be out of town. I might end up almost going to bed with the caterer again.
Rose, I want to help, but first you have to tell me what the problem is.
It's so funny because each character is responding so exactly like they should. From Dorothy being so quick to be like, weddings get you hot, and then I love Rose without waiting a second going, yes.
Yeah, without skipping a beat. Yes. And it's like very intense.
Yeah.
It's a loaded answer. So we get to the wedding.
Wait, do weddings get you hot?
Oh, do weddings get me hot? No.
Like what would be an activity that you would be like, oh, Stan has to be there, or else I am gonna be a whore.
I don't think any particular activity. No.
I know. We were talking about before we started recording
Like
how much
maybe like a massage. That's the closest thing I can think of is a massage.
Oh, I would say that too, like a spa thing. I would need him there because
yeah,
I feel like
a
that
massage.
would get me all. Yes,
maybe
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that's a perfect answer. Yes.
Yeah. I'm very boring.
No, that's not boring.
I'm very
That's
vanilla.
No,
Yeah.
rub it down.
Yeah. So we don't actually see the wedding. We start at the reception and we spend the rest of the episode here.
Yeah, like all of that's what is so interesting about this is that most of the episode is outside the house.
Yeah.
Which is so rare in the Golden Girls world.
And there's one scene where I think it's like Sophia later and Giuseppe like coming maybe off an elevator. I can't remember, walking down a hallway. It's when they open the door and like Jenny and her husband are like banging in the room and they're like, okay, and they leave. And I'm like, they built that. There was a whole giant set for that one joke.
Yeah.
For that, like there was like a long hallway. There were these windows. I was like, wow, they must have had, I don't know, so much budget for this. I don't know.
Loved what Dorothy wore to the wedding because it is,
she was in brown, right?
Yeah, it's such an interesting choice for a wedding. It is perfect for her character, but it is not something that I would think of wearing to a wedding. It seems like a fall outfit you'd wear in New York if you were going out to dinner.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I also noticed Rose is like, she's like wearing white.
Yeah.
She's wearing like a cream color to a wedding. Like that's a little gauche.
I mean, that is, but it reminds me of The Office when Mindy Kaling's character wears white to Jim and Pam's wedding. And she says something like, I look good in white.
Yeah, which, I look good in white.
I don't look good.
Yeah, white, I don't, it's hard to, and it stains.
I am already
get anything.
White. I am so white. I am so white that if you put white against me, it just shows how ugly I am. Like I need black. Just how blotchy. Like, I mean, the makeup won't match. Like, it's not a good fit for me. No.
Yeah. You have to have, I feel like, again, and you don't, just wear white. Wear white if you love to wear white. For me personally, I'm like, I want to make sure I have a very even skin tone across. Like I have the palest legs. Like,
same.
You don't want to.
Everything's pale on me.
Everything's
which is why
pale.
The lights are off and we do it from 8 feet away.
Well, speaking of lights, I don't know if you noticed this. The lighting in the reception scene, it was so bright. It looked like strong, like morning sunshine beams just like blasting through the windows. I felt like when I was looking at Rose's white dress, I felt like when you look at snow when it's really bright outside and you're like, oh shit, I can't see.
Yeah.
That's how bright it was for me in that scene.
I mean, I didn't see that, but I see it. Like, I'm just surprised. I don't like Rose's dress. I'm not a fan of it. It feels it seems like it ages her.
Yeah. I was blinded by it. So can we talk about Doug, Blanche's #1 man on her list?
I kind of love Doug.
I thought he was so meh.
I know, he is meh, and he's creeper. He's kind of a creeper.
He's her #1. What does like her #5 appear to be?
It ain't Jake.
It's not Jake. Nobody will ever.
No one. Jake is so hot.
Jake is so hot.
Oh my god. I kind of want to get a nose
I want a
tattoo
massage from Jake. That's what I want. From like those like strong, like those hairy arms that are tan because he's always working outside. He's got that farmer's tan. Although I bet he has really calloused fingers.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd want that.
No, but you put up with it because you just look into Jake's eyes. See, I want Michael. That's what I would want.
Yeah.
Like Dorothy's Michael. You know what I mean? Like that's who I want as my date for the wedding.
Yeah.
And it would just be like my straight guy date. Like be like, oh, we're on a date. Isn't this cute? It's funny. Look at us. We're on a date. And then him being like, oh, I'm your boyfriend tonight. And I'm like, yeah. And then I just go home sad.
You're like, everybody's dancing. Should we dance? Wouldn't that be funny?
You want to
Wouldn't that
dance?
be like
Let's go dance.
romantic and
Wait,
funny?
do you want to hold my
and
hand? Come on, hold my hand.
it
It'd be
would be
funny.
so
It would
funny.
be so funny. Let's do it for a picture. Let's do it for a
Yeah.
picture that I'll have
Yeah.
framed later.
Yeah.
But let's do it for a picture.
Let's just do
Come
it for a
on.
picture. Let's just do it
That's
for a
crazy.
picture.
Wait, no, take the cake and push it in my face. Go,
Yeah.
just push it in my face.
No, I
It'll
know
be
they
funny.
haven't cut it yet.
It'll be
They
funny.
haven't cut it yet.
I'll make
but
a
it's totally
TikTok
fine. They
out
won't
of
mind.
it. It'll
I
be
promise.
really funny.
I promise. Did we just kiss? Happy birthday, Dorothy.
I'm gonna assault Michael. That's what it is. But awkwardly.
There is a moment, poor Michael. There is a moment where Dorothy. So Blanche's date he has an appendectomy. He's a doctor. There's the joke that he was his own appendix. So Blanche is dateless
Single.
at the wedding and fixated on Dorothy and Doug because this is Blanche. This is Blanche always needing to be the center of attention. This is Blanche's vanity. And she's trying to prove, though, that she's a good friend and that she's not being a shitty person in this moment. And she has this really great moment where she's sitting with Sophia and Dorothy and Doug are dancing. And Blanche is like, this is what it's like to be like a good friend. I feel all warm inside. This must be what they call the joy of giving. Feels a lot like cramps.
Rue McClanahan has so many good lines in this episode.
She has a lot of good lines.
It's good moments, just good little moments,
But because Blanche is watching Dorothy, Dorothy's with Doug, Sophia's fixated on her curse, nobody is watching Rose. And so she is just getting hot at every minute, like when the cocktail wiener waiter comes over.
I mean, he was cute.
Well, he has made a name for himself as a particular shaped meat because he's the maitre d' in Ferris Bueller's Day Off who says, "You're Abe Froman, the sausage king of Chicago." He's that guy.
Well, you give me a man in a uniform. Remember the episode where I forget the episode, but it's another one where Blanche doesn't have a date to something and she pays a waiter to be her date at the table. I forget the episode now. Everyone's gonna kill me.
It's your birthday. They can't.
Well, they still will. That guy was also very cute. It's in a uniform. Like it's a uniform thing.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know that there's any particular type of uniform that does it for me. I definitely, when I was younger, I used to fall in the camp of, and it's so funny, my friend pointed this out because he was in a band and he was this really tall Dutch guy. We used to call him the Handsy Dutchman. He's so sweet. He's so sweet. Well, but
speaking of a uniform, this is totally off topic, but also very on topic as well, because Blanche would love this. My friend years ago, we became friends. Actually, we met that night. But he, for a Halloween party, I think it was, he wore like some sort of military outfit. I don't know exactly what, but it was like a Navy Top Gun type looking thing, and the pants that man wore, literally, they were so tight and the butt was so right that I literally was like, I'm going to get to know that man. And we've become very good friends since. And I always bring up his butt now. But those pants, the uniform, all of it, I was like, that is my friend.
A uniform, a tight butt in a uniform, I totally get that one. I totally get that one. When you have like a nice up there tight butt.
Game over. Show over. Tight butt
my
uniform.
weakness is someone who's like in a band. Or sings. No. I know. You're
music.
shaking your head. No.
No.
But my friend, the Handsy Dutchman, had pointed this out because he used to be in this very popular band in New York, and was like, yeah, I'd meet girls at bars all the time, whatever. It wouldn't, And then he's like, and then they see me get up on stage, and I play in this band, and then all of a sudden, all the girls, they want to talk to you, and I was like, I get it.
See, that wouldn't do it for me because I think the most I even back in the day when I had like a dating profile or whatever, I was like, if you have an acoustic guitar, we're not a match. Like, don't even come near me. Don't even talk to me because that is terrifying and awkward. If you ever had someone sing a song to you, just quietly, just you and that other person?
Yes.
the most uncomfortable thing in the world. Don't do it.
These days, I would say no. But when I was in my 20s, I was like, big yes.
Wow.
And yeah,
No.
and I did. And it's so funny because the guy, he was a military guy too.
All I need
So we
is
had the
Thomas.
uniform and
All I
the
need is
acoustic guitar.
Thomas in that booty, those pants, those pants. I'm good. That's all I need. Nothing else. Please keep the guitar at home, put the pants on, and then off.
Well, I wanted to play another moment from, so it's again Blanche struggling to deal with everything.
Such a good moment.
It's such a good moment when Doug gets up to leave the table for a moment.
I'm gonna go find the men's room.
Oh, it's right down the hall on your right.
Blanche, I want to thank you. I am really having a good time.
You know, Dorothy, there's a thin line between having a good time and becoming an obvious wanton slut. I know, my toe's been on that line.
There's just something about how angry, like, Blanche is, but then also at the same time, she really is trying to be a good friend here in the way that only the way that Blanche can, but she is actually like this. We're seeing Blanche struggle.
Also, obvious wanton slut is such a fantastic combination of 3 words. It's
so
beautiful.
Good. And her delivery of it and her accent with it is just so perfect.
My toe's been on that line. I brought my son Skippy home in that towel. So at one point, Doug starts dancing with Blanche without asking Dorothy, who is his date. What do you think is the etiquette there?
Oh, that's hard because, I mean, he is there because Blanche knows him. And that's the connection. Now, and also, too, Dorothy has a responsibility at this. I keep going back to that because she is the godmother. Like, she's a part of the wedding party in a lot of ways. Like, she's a big deal. And so she should be busy and not necessarily dancing with Doug or even concerned about a date. So, like, it doesn't necessarily bother me. That said, if it was me, like, for example, like, because I'm very much Blanche and Rose in this episode, I'm going to fuck someone. So if like you didn't want me flirting with your date and possibly wooing over your date to my side, then maybe don't leave me alone with them. Kind of vibe. I don't know.
Okay,
I feel
fair.
like be self-aware a little bit, you know, but if it was like someone else, it wouldn't bother me.
Yeah. I disagree with you on the godmother having responsibilities because
Really?
Yeah, because the maid of honor, the bridal party, the groomsmen, they're the ones doing all that stuff.
But
I
in
just think
Italian families, the godparents are like very important.
Yeah, I know. Like, I'm a godmother. I have godparents. Like, and I think about now, Stan and I got married at a courthouse, but I look at my sister's wedding and her godparents were just wedding guests like everybody else. Like, they didn't have any responsibility. I was the maid of honor. I was the one walking around with the little bag with the tampons and the deodorant and the anything that she could possibly need, but she didn't because my sister is very like cool and even keeled and like is like no stress. But where the godparents have some responsibility is like going to the baptism, and then
I had to do that. I had to do that for my brother. Yeah.
And then there's like an unspoken thing where it's like if both parents die, you're gonna like take the kids, right? Like, which I don't know. There's like a weird. I was like, I don't want that responsibility.
Everyone knows. Don't even give me a plant, let alone a kid. We need to take a break, speaking of that, because I need to go reevaluate my life and choices and think about Thomas and his pants. So, but we'll be right back with more.
Because we have to talk about the bathroom scene. So
the bathroom scene and just Rose being horny. I'm into it.
Have you ever seen marble bathroom stalls? That bathroom was gorgeous.
This is the bathroom from the Rusty Anchor, right? That mirror, it seems very familiar to me. I know it's not
No.
exactly the Rusty Anchor, and I know they position the toilets in a different way and they've painted it and all the things, but it feels like a very similar set.
Yeah, it could be like a similar setup, or maybe they like painted over some of the other stuff. But I mean, yes, the women also did mirror acting in that bathroom.
I
These
would not
women,
be good at mirror acting. Like, let me
the
try that.
mirror acting, like, well, you're looking at yourself though. We're on
No, I'm
video.
not. I'm looking at the camera. I'm not looking at myself.
Oh, okay.
Camera's
But now
up.
imagine a studio audience in the distance, and you're
which I
trying.
do often.
I would be curious to know when they are doing their mirror acting. I guess they're looking at whatever's straight ahead because they can't look up or down.
No.
So they are probably making eye contact with somebody in the audience, which could you imagine if you were that audience member?
I would die. I would die on the
What?
spot.
Oh my God. Rue McClanahan's looking at me while she's putting lipstick on. Oh my God. Oh my God. I have to tell all my friends.
Michael and I do that sometimes when at night. It's so stupid. He'll say something stupid or not funny, and then he'll be like, "Turn to the studio audience. Thank you, thank you," and we'll just wave. Our wall on the far right is our studio audience.
I like that. I like that you have a studio audience.
We have a studio audience in our apartment. Yes, welcome, welcome, welcome.
And then when you kiss to people, go woo, like that.
No, they go bow chicka wow wow, or they go oh, because it would be television and two men kissing.
There's one person that just loudly stands up and claps. Yes, 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 that's right.
I would
and
not be
it's
good
me,
at
and I say love is love, and then you and then you vomit. So in the bathroom, which I enjoy this bathroom scene because the arguing, everything between Dorothy and Blanche, it feels so high school. Like Dorothy locking Blanche in a bathroom stall, you know, kind of like how she throws Rose into the closet in the pilot episode.
Mm-hmm.
And also it feels very like high school because there are 4 women throughout this pretty much this whole scene who are awkwardly like standing in a line and just whispering and watching them the whole time.
It's so weird.
And then they don't even, once Blanche and Dorothy leave, that's when they're like, I'm going to go use the bathroom now. So it's like, eavesdrop much, bitches? But Dorothy, she confronts Blanche about moving in on Doug, and Blanche, in true Blanche nature, is like, basically like, if you'd only asked for somebody on my B list, I wouldn't be so attracted to him, and I wouldn't be so upset right now and trying to like go after him.
Which is really shitty of Blanche. Like super shitty.
Yeah,
like
it's so
that
Blanche,
is
though.
that is something you don't say. You don't say to your friend, even if you did, even if that was your intention, which is fine. Let it be your intention. You give someone your B person, but you say they're your A person because you want your friend to be happy.
Yeah, I think, you know, for Blanche, because again, Blanche needs that male attention because she's vulnerable, because she's insecure. So when if she had a date, it probably would have been fine.
Yeah,
but she didn't, and now she's jealous. And for Dorothy,
and I also wonder too, because like, what if Doug is her B person and he's only an A person because she didn't have a date? Think about that.
What do you mean?
Like, we don't know because we haven't seen Blanche's date. So what if Blanche in fact did give Dorothy her B person, and just because someone isn't there, he becomes an A person?
He becomes an A person.
You know.
I mean, you know my feelings about Doug. I don't think Doug is an A person at all. I think Doug
I don't mind Doug. But then again, I love to fuck for the story.
That's true. That is true. We have talked about that.
Yeah, I'm good. I'll do it. I'll give you a hand.
Yeah. But for Dorothy, you know, as she says, as she's like slamming the stall, this isn't just about tonight. It's about 5 years of Blanche's selfishness.
Which is
and
true.
And then, but before this scene, so the bride and the groom, who again, we're not invested in at all. When we meet them, they're literally arguing in a way that I'd yell at my mom when I was a teenager. Like Jenny's like, leave me alone, I hate you, and like storms off.
But they are young, although they're young, but they're not that young.
She looks to me, again, it's the 80s, so like people look differently. Like it's kind of hard to gauge. I would say Jenny's probably mid to late 20s.
Yeah, I was going to say that too.
Maybe mid 20s.
Yeah.
So as Blanche and Dorothy are having this argument in the bathroom, Jenny, the bride, is in one of the stalls. And this was the moment I realized when at some point she says like, "Oh, hey, Aunt Blanche." I was like, hang on.
Yeah.
Hang on. And I started unraveling or just trying to figure out like who Jenny is, not even because the Blanche thing is already weird enough, but even to Dorothy, because
Yeah.
it's weird because okay, Jenny is Dorothy's goddaughter, which is kind of weird because Sophia and Giuseppe never saw each other after he came to America, presumably when they were 14. So he leaves her at 14, but Dorothy somehow becomes the godmother. Oh,
Well,
that's not Giuseppe's daughter. No, you're right. It's not Giuseppe's daughter. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why. But it doesn't make sense that she calls Blanche Aunt Blanche because presumably
they can have a relationship separately.
But she's only known her for like a couple years, probably.
So,
right?
Doesn't matter. You know, I call drag queen sis, even though I've only known him for a year.
You don't think that's a little like because let's say
no, because if it is genuinely someone that's that is close to the family, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that at all. It's not weird. I mean, it's a little cutesy, it's a little stupid, but like it's like for a 25-year-old girl to do. But that's something like a kid would do. You know what I mean? Like if the girl was 12 and be like, "Oh, Blanche's or Dorothy's roommate / best friend, she's my aunt, but not really." You know what I mean? Like that would be an Aunt Blanche situation. But this girl also seems annoying, so like she's probably an Aunt Blanche girl.
For me, the older you get, the weirder it is because
oh yeah, I mean that's why like I think a couple episodes ago we talked about the whole Robert Durst mommy thing. Like it is weird when adults say mommy, daddy, aunt, cutesy names thing. I mean, yes, call your parents mom and dad, sure, but like I would never be like, "Hi mommy, hi daddy," unless no, I would never do it. I would never do it.
Yeah, unless your daddy was Big Daddy, in which case everybody calls him Big Daddy.
Even then I wouldn't.
It would be tough.
No.
Yeah.
It would be weird. Yeah.
There's an implication when you call somebody Big Daddy. Big Daddy.
This episode is explicit.
It is explicit. So
it's my birthday.
It's your birthday. What do you think happened at Joey's bachelor party?
Oh, good question. I mean, probably
that's why she's angry, but he was honest with her about it, whatever it was.
I think back to that Tom Hanks film from the 80s. I think it was called Bachelor Party. I forget, but it was like about a bachelor party and like the crazy thing. It was sort of like those crazy 80s and guy movies where everyone goes crazy and there's women naked all over the place and whatever. I think it was that. I think it was basically that. Like, especially when money's involved, because these people have so much money. So you know the party is like probably crazy because they have access to anything they want. And it's Miami, and we all know Miami can be crazy. So like I have a feeling there was some debauchery had at the bachelor party.
Yeah, I feel like it's implied that maybe he like had some titties in his face or something, and it was like
I also don't like. To me, that wouldn't bother me.
It wouldn't bother me because I know, like, I also know that, I mean, not that I would care, but Stan has gone to bachelor parties where you go to a strip club and you get lap dances and you do all that stuff and you go on a party bus. And he's been to a bachelor party where they sat around and ordered really good pizza and all played Grand Theft Auto in different rooms on the same internet connection. And the latter bachelor party was the one that he had fun at.
Yeah.
He was like, he went to a bachelor party where it was like some of the guys there, the way they were talking about the women, like in a gross way. And so much as like, oh, like she shouldn't be dancing. Oh, she's flabby. Like in that kind of way where he was like, Jesus Christ, like you guys are the worst and you don't deserve to have tits in your face right now.
That would annoy me a lot. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I've never been to a bachelor party like that.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, but it wouldn't, but I, everything should be based on trust and communication.
Yes, trust communication and really listening to the other person and listening without judging or shaming.
Yes.
I do think the best acting moment in this entire scene is delivered without dialogue, which is, I think when we've watched this in the past, I've said that this Blanche moment in the mirror reminds me so much of you and so much of Sadie. It's like,
No.
it
It's
is
very
if
me.
it's very much you. So let's watch that
Yeah.
moment.
And you know what? I used to be okay. Am I a vain person? Maybe I am. I'll admit, even when I gain weight, lose weight, feel not great, I still love looking at myself in the mirror. I love looking at myself in the mirror. I always have a mirror near me. It's right now. It's my Miss Piggy mirror that I have. If you're watching on YouTube or Patreon, you can
love that.
see it. And yeah, I carry a mirror in my bag, and I used to be so embarrassed to like take it out and look at myself, because it's like somehow bad to do that. But I don't mind.
I don't
I
think
love
it's
it.
bad to do that. Why did you think it was bad to do that?
Well, but it's just that there's like there's a feeling of vanity. I think that probably maybe it's my Midwestern roots, but there's a feeling of vanity that like, because I mean, I do pride. I don't leave the house a mess. Like I don't. I won't ever do that. I rarely will leave the house without putting anything on. Rarely. I won't. I'm not like done up. I still look casual and relaxed, but like I want to smell good. I want to make sure that everything is put together. I want to make sure that like the face is at least presentable. I want to, like things like that. Like even doing these podcasts and stuff, like I still have to put myself together, even if I'm tired or whatever. Like I still need to put on makeup, and I still need to make sure my hair is good, and to make sure like all the things I need to do to make sure that I'm presentable for other people. And so I love a mirror. So this is my moment. I love a mirror.
Well, Blanche, I don't know how many nano facial expressions that Rue McClanahan does in that moment, but I think she gives us like 6 or 7.
It's it's such perfect acting.
The eyebrows and the lips
Yes. It's so perfect.
Like she is this is Blanche getting horny. Blanche gets horny when she looks at herself in a mirror. That at the end, it's like, I'll come back for you later. You know what I mean?
I do think there's an element, I see it in myself too. There's an element like whenever I get like, I mean, because I can make fun of myself and make jokes about my looks and stuff, but like there are times that I'm just going to admit this. There are times that I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, and if someone didn't find me attractive or whatever, I'm just sort of like, wow, they're dumb. Like,
yes, I love that confidence.
Dumb. It was the same thing when I was a kid. When people didn't want to play with me or be friends with me, I was just like, wow, you really are dumb.
Oh, I wish I had that thought. Can you give me your best like Blanche in the mirror face right now? Can you?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it. Let's see it.
I'm trying to think. I gotta act like I'm surprised by the mirror, because like it's best to look in a mirror when you don't know the mirror's coming, and then you just do like a quick like, oh, what's happening? So this is
okay. Yes. Let's
if
do
you're
it.
watching on YouTube, this is what you do. Okay, so I'm like on my phone, whatever. Oh, that looks good actually. The way the hands are and everything. That's good.
Oh, that's a good head tilt. Yep.
I'm doing my delta work. We talked about with Alaska on that episode. Yeah, and that's it. And that's pretty much.
Wow. And then do you have to do the kiss goodbye?
I would never do this. I don't look good like that. I don't look good like that. I only
got
look
it.
Good, and I don't look good smiling either. This is the better part. Right here. This is it.
That was really good mirror acting.
You use the light, the shadow on the chin.
Yeah.
Always look down. Never look up. You're looking up. That's good. But
I'm
looking down's
up.
better.
Is
looking
it?
Down's better. Yeah. Shadow.
I don't think looking down is better for me. I think
don't
looking
look
up
down
is better.
like this, but you gotta get the angle right so that the shadow hits the chin. Everyone listening at home is like, "Oh my god, what are they doing?"
People not watching this on video are starting to get really pissed off.
Yes.
So, okay. I also wanted to play Giuseppe's speech, because when he wants the curse lifted, this is what Sophia makes him say in front of all of his daughter's wedding guests to lift the curse.
Actually obsessed with this.
Everyone, may I have your attention, please? This is Sophia Petrillo, the girl who stood me up at the altar 70 years ago. And I just asked her to be my wife again, and again she said no.
Go on.
And so from now on, I'm gay.
Happy Pride.
It felt, I know it's not exactly what Kevin Kline says, but it's not Kevin Kline, it's Matt Dillon in and Out, but and he's gay. Like that had that same punch.
It's so good.
Like,
oh my God, it's so
like
good.
Sophia, you are, I mean, I love Sophia. I am Sophia. But man,
you really
Sophia
are.
Sometimes she could be such a bitter little mean old monkey. Like,
and I love it. I love it. I love it. I think more people should be bitter.
It's her. This is what you need. You don't need an apology for, because he already said, like, I was 14. I was scared. That should be enough. She should have already known that.
That is related. I mean, you would think she would think to her grandkids, and would she want Michael getting married at 14 to some kid that they arranged?
Exactly.
No, of course not. But at the same time, I love a grudge. I love a grudge.
Oh my gosh. Like, and she's like, okay, I'll take the curse. And then they go and they're banging and she's like, curse is lifted, whatever.
So good.
So meanwhile, Rose has left the wedding with Doug. Okie dokie, daddy-o.
She be doing the Doug, but no, she's not.
But what's funny is that Blanche and Dorothy, when they discover this, because they feel so bad for not being able to keep Rose out of trouble. And then when they learn she left with Doug, they don't try to find her. They're just like, oh, shucks.
Yeah.
I guess we should have some wedding cake.
Well,
like,
I mean,
go
at that
find
point,
your
it's
friend.
like, no, because what are they going to do? Like, they're clearly gone. They're clearly fucking. Like, they're clearly, like, away. So, like, I get it.
I don't even think they check the parking lot.
What are they
going
to
do?
Your
friend. Find your friend.
See if she's in the back seat, fucking Doug. No.
Dorothy doesn't have any godmother duties. That's not a thing. But it doesn't matter because Doug returns. Ultimately, Rose had him drive to the airport so she could go see Miles. Good fucking luck finding him, Rose. He's in Quantico.
Yeah.
He's not at a teaching conference.
He's in Quantico. Oh, so funny.
Yeah, they just like, they're sitting him down and they're like, okay, Nick, so you're not really good at this. I don't know. And that's the episode.
It's fun.
It's fun. It's a fun episode. The bathroom scene is wonderful.
So fun.
And and Horny Rose is really fun.
Well, should we take a break and come back with our golden takeaways?
I love that idea.
Me too. And we are back with our golden takeaways, which is a nugget of truth or inspiration that you can apply to your life or the lives of our listeners. Kerri, what's your golden takeaway from this episode?
My golden takeaway is actually more based on the reason we're doing this episode, which is because it's your birthday, which is also our 10-year friendiversary.
Right. I totally forgot about that. You're so right. I had a birthday party 10 years ago, which is crazy because it would have been my 18th birthday party.
18th birthday. Yep. Your first cigarette and scratch ticket.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And it was at a German restaurant. I don't even know if that still exists here in Los Angeles. And Elliot, obviously, everyone knows Elliot, invited you because he wanted the two of us to meet.
It wasn't Elliot.
Gabby.
No,
Wait,
it was Gabe. It was Gabe Dunn.
Gabe, yes.
Who
Yes.
invited me.
When did you talk to Elliot?
Elliot I had known since before that.
Yeah.
So because I had reached out to Elliot to say, hey, do you do this podcast? And
Yes.
Elliot was like, oh, I'm not in LA, but do you know HAlanScott? And I was like, I don't. And then I was hanging out with Gabe Dunn one day, who was like, hey, I'm going to a birthday party. Do you want to go? And then was like, it's HAlanScott. And I was like, hey, wait a minute. I've heard that name before.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that part of it. I didn't know it was so happenstance. I thought it was planned.
It was so happenstance.
Wow.
So
I
at
love
that
it was
point,
so
Elliot had already said, you need to meet HAlanScott. I bet you two would have a lot of fun
there?
doing.
I don't think Elliot was there.
No,
was
Elliot wasn't there.
No, he wasn't there.
I would have remembered because I would have said hi.
Yeah.
But then I remember Gabe came up and was like, this is a huge Golden Girls fan. This is your birthday present. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. And then a couple of, in like September is when I think we met, maybe August, we met to like talk about it. The podcast.
At a Starbucks.
In West Hollywood. And then we started in like October, I think.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Right?
So happy friendiversary.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it off the ground pretty quickly.
Wait, should we do the live show on our anniversary?
We can talk about it.
We should talk about it. We're going to do a live show at the end of the year regardless.
We're going to do a live show in Los Angeles soon. Yes.
Yes. But we'll figure out
what's your golden
do.
takeaway.
Oh God, that sent me spinning because, you know, what a crazy, I mean, my 20s are not quite over yet, but it's been a crazy 10 years of my 20s, you know, from not being able to drink until now and all those things. My golden takeaway from this episode is that, what is my golden takeaway? I think more people should be flirtatious. I think we need to bring back the art of flirting. I feel like flirting has gotten lost, rightfully so in some situations, because some very toxic men have mistaken.
When there's a power dynamic.
Yes, they have mistaken sort of like essentially sexual assault, not sexual assault, but sexual harassment with flirting. And that is not flirting. What I'm talking about is just like, you know, winking a nod, like having a fun, like flirty little, like, no, yeah, you're so cute, no, you're so cute, you know, like having a stupid, like back and forth flirty, whatever, like what I mentioned with my friend Thomas before, where you have this moment of being like, oh my God, your booty and those pants, I can't take it. Where's my Miss Piggy Mirror fan? I don't know. Like that's what I want to bring back. You know what I mean? Just like a casual little flirt. You know who's really good at it? Jean Smart. When I interviewed her, she's perfect at it. She's perfect at the flirt. The winky eye, the sort of like, oh, you know, it's just so a part of how I communicate. And I feel it is something that is missing in other people that I don't see often. Or maybe people just don't want to flirt with me. And that, you know what? I don't feel bad about because that is your problem.
Yep. That's a great attitude to have.
Yes.
I think that's a great golden takeaway. Everybody flirt a little bit more without getting into trouble.
A little bit more. With
consent. A little bit more.
Flirt with consent.
Flirt with consent.
Yes.
FWC, everyone. And this has been another episode of Out on the Lanai. Happy birthday, HAlanScott / Sadie Pines. And if you want to support us, support the podcast, if you would like to gift HAlanScott / Sadie Pines a birthday present, you can sign up for the GGVIP Club at patreon.com / Golden Girls Podcast. Get those ad-free episodes, get the bonus content, get the live watch-alongs. It's all great stuff. Please check it out.
Yes, and if you do want to get me anything, you can do one of two things. You can make sure that you're registered to vote. That is a perfect birthday present for me. I would love for you to do that and make sure you do it. You can do it even when you're like renewing your license at the DMV in most states. So like register to vote. Or you can donate to the Ali Forney Center in New York City, which I fully support and want everyone to. If you can, you know, no big deal. If you can't, you can do other things. You can sign up for follow them on social media. That always helps. Social stuff is very big this year. So that's my birthday present. Do that for me. But you can also support us because we are a part of Mom, Moguls of Media. So go on and subscribe to Mom Plus. And you can follow us on the socials at Golden Girls Pod on Twitter, Out on the Lanai Official on the Instagrables, Golden Girls Pod on the Facebook is Zoozles. And I'm HAlanScott / Sadie Pines on most things. most things these days.
And I am Squid Eats Squid on Twitter and Squidsy on Instagram. And if you also want to do something for the podcast, you can leave us a little rating, a little review that we also love, and it's free.
Yeah, leave us a review. It does help. It helps. We've been around forever and we need all the reviews we can get. So thank you. And now, remember,
as always,
stay
golden.
See what that does when you lift your neck up and it's like it shows the gobble? Like, you don't want that. You have to get the shadow. The shadow.
Okay, shadow.
Out on the Lanai is not endorsed by Whit Thomas Harris Productions, Touchstone Television, Disney, or any of its subsidiaries. It is intended for entertainment and informational purposes only.
All names, pictures, audio, and video clips of the Golden Girls are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of their respective trademark and/or copyright holders.